Good morning, good morning, good morning. I just laughed now because Nima doesn't want to start the show. I don't know why. People should mind me and beg Nima why she doesn't want to start the show. But this is Women Radio 91.7 FM, the voice of women, the Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. My name is Olufumilayo Bambala, and I'm not here alone, as I've already said.
My name is Hassani Metula.
Yes, good morning.
Good
The time
morning.
check is 29 minutes to 8. This beautiful Monday morning, Monday, the 6th of July, 2026. And this morning, we have quite a few interesting things to talk about this morning on the program. We're expecting our analyst to join us shortly. But in the meantime, we are just going to get into the headlines for this morning. And it's look. Nigeria is Nigeria, and that's the best way I can put it. Quite a few things have been happening, and I'm just like, wow. First off, is it 74 days of 84 days since the kids in Oyo State have been abducted. That is not
No,
that
it's not
is
74.
74.
Is it 74
Yeah.
days?
I read that this morning. Let me quickly confirm before I say. Let me know. Go and
I
give.
think the day before yesterday it was 47 days
It
or
could not be.
oh, my counting is off.
Hey, I don't think so. While we wait to clarify the days, I swear. So they got kidnapped before May, before the Children's Day celebration. Because if you recall, we were praying that they get back to their parents
Yes.
by Children's Day. By the time you do the yes, now it can't be 47 because May 31 days, June 30 days. Oh yeah, I am correct. Oh, May 15 was when they were abducted. Please, I know mass. Nima. I know mass because Nima wants it to be. I know mass. I teach my daughter
What am I now
mathematics.
counting?
You will ask yourself that
Ah,
question. You cannot ask me that question. You ask yourself that question. Okay, let's get into it this morning. So our thoughts and prayers are with them. In the same vein, some of the worshippers from Ekiti got, well, I was gonna say rescued, but they were released this morning. And I think we have that as one of our headlines this morning. Yes. So hopefully we get there with our analyst this morning, Emmanuel Olonade. Okay, let's get into it. Starting with the Punch newspaper.
Olonode.
Leave me. The Punch newspaper 2027 candidates from the Punch newspaper Saturday deadline puts parties under pressure, choosing not to talk about politics today because we have real life issues happening. I refuse to fan the embers of this political situation when people's lives are at stake, the economy is still turning on its own. Yeah, let's just leave it like that. I staged my kidnap to extort 25 billion naira from family, says Delta man. He needs to be flogged. Tobati Noton, then he should be beaten, then he should be arrested, then taken to jail.
It's just use the Quran punishment for him.
Yeah.
As that, I like that one.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Guardian newspaper. Flooding may persist till September. Pollutes drinking water. NHISA warns. Kolongbawa. Robbers kill father of 5 in Ondo.
I put some prayers with them. And this is the newspaper. We have INEC extends CVR by 2 weeks, introduces self-service for first timers. Also, IPI Nigeria CPJ demand immediate release of journalist Stanley Ogagwe from detention.
Moving on to the Daily Trust, banditry. Ex-Benue SSG dies from gunshot injuries. Ex-Bauchi Deputy Governor loses son, daughter in road crash.
Back to that, the ex-Benue SSG dies. So our thoughts and prayers are with them. This actually affects us closer than we think because that's a family member of one of our staff. Yeah. And so our thoughts and prayers are with them. His daughter just got married to the brother of one of our staff, and that's just a really sad time and situation. But we hope that they're able to, because this thing is hitting closer than you think. And that's why I'm always pleading and saying, look, the government In the Vanguard newspaper, one dead as police rescue kidnapped Ekiti CAC worshippers. Mentioned that at the beginning. Anambra APC crisis deepens as new chairman takes over secretariat.
Moving on to the Premium Times newspaper, bandits abduct flying travelers on Katsina Road. Lagos government accuses social media influencers of sharing false flood images.
Wait, okay, wait. To be fair, some of the flood images were fake, were from other countries as well, and some were fake. But we cannot deny the fact that have we been experiencing flood? Yes. Over the weekend, some of our staff had to go to the island. When I saw the videos, and this is that the rains had even stopped. So the rains have stopped, but the waters don't have any place to go to. So no, you can't say they're sharing false. You can say, oh, you can tell them don't share these ones, but we are hey.
Lagos Island is even on
Hey,
is on another level.
I was supposed to go to the island yesterday. I'd messaged Michael, I think earlier on in the day, and I asked him, I said, is the Cartier a safe place to go right now? Then he, of course, I had seen the video, so he sent it again to me. But just in case you aren't aware, this is where you want to go. So abort mission, so I couldn't go. And even this weekend, I said I'm gonna go for paint and sip. I don't know if because it's a celebrating again. If it's doing anyhow, I sit in my house. That is it. I sit in my house. Okay. Is it me? Yeah. The Nation newspaper, Fubara spending without appropriation after June 30 breaches constitution. Also on the Nation newspaper, robbers attack residents, kill popular technician in Oyo State.
Moving on to the cable newspaper, Army Chief, tremendous progress made in rescue of Ogbomosho pupils, teachers.
Okay, we're hearing all these things, but we need them to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Troops repel terrorist ambush after IED explosion on Borno Road.
Yes. And then moving on to the Daily Post, we have your Borno abduction. School children spend 54 days in forest and heavy downpour. Amid heavy downpour, my. Kano APC suffers setback as members dump party for NDC. This is really interesting. Go ahead.
Moving on to the Tribune newspaper, Abuja deserves state police, group counters federal government. Federal government replies article over 8 trillion naira on budgeted spending allocation.
It's even for me the fact that the federal government is replying. Like, you know, like hanky panky is going on. But yeah, we'll get into it. Pen pushing newspaper. Lastly, this morning, Governor Abiodun appoints 6 new permanent secretaries. Woman found dead in church toilet. Oh my gosh, what is happening? I thought some prayers up with their family members. But yeah, there you have it. Those are the headlines for this morning. We're going to slide right into having our conversation with our analyst who I see that has joined us this morning. But before then, we are live on YouTube at WFM 917. And then you can listen to us on the go via our website, www.wfm917.com. The phone lines will be open shortly, but in the meantime, you can send your text messages to 0703 1756537 or 08155 917 917. Let's bring in our analyst this morning. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Hi, good morning, Fumi, and good morning, Nima. How are you guys doing this beautiful Monday morning?
We're doing good. We're good. I sound like the weekend I had. I didn't go partying. I just had a really long weekend. Busy momming and all of that. So yeah.
Well, that's good. At least it was more like a family time for you. So it's good to be busy with family.
Don't allow mothers worldwide come for you. What do you mean family time?
No, there are times you need to have family time over the weekend. See, we get ourselves involved in a lot of things during the week that the 1 day or the 2 days we'll spend with our kids to like bond, have conversations with them, let them start downloading everything that happened during the course of the week to them, and we pick. We also spend those days going out, trying to catch up. So at the end of the day, our kids are growing up we feel we know them, but we don't. So when they get to teenagers and they're about to make decisions, you feel like, I know this guy, I know this boy, but you never knew, because you believe that training up a child is paying for good schools, giving them what to eat, letting them wear good clothes, ensuring that they can sit down and watch cartoon all day, light, access to everything. But you've forgotten the most important part. So when I see parents, especially in this bubbling Lagos, saying that they spend family time, though most complaint is stressful, but I think those were the moments we enjoy most with our parents, because it was like an everyday thing for us growing up. You see them almost every day, every time. They come back from work early, they sit down with you, you talk. But now, that opportunity no longer exists. So when I see people having that kind of opportunity, I think it's a good one. It can be stressful, because they will shout, they will do everything, just want your peace. But I think those are the moments we need to cherish now.
I agree with you. I do. Yesterday, one of my baby sisters had her baby on Thursday night. So I went to see them yesterday. They just got back from the hospital. And as I walked, so it was not even in my plan, but as I walked into my house, the first thing my daughter said was, "Mommy, you betrayed me. We were supposed to go together." That girl has a big mouth on her, like her mom. But she was, and like she was telling me the things, "Mommy, da. So I do agree with you, because one thing I do not compromise on is having conversations with my children. Even the little one, as little as 3, I'm asking him, "How are you? How was school? What happened?" Let him say whatever he's saying. Like, for some reason, I seem to understand some of the things that he says, but the other ones, I'm asking the sister, "What did he say? Explain to me." But yeah, thank you for that, Emmanuel. Thank you. And I know that I'm always speaking about, oh my God, my children. I love them. I find that when I've not been with them the whole day, I'm trying to rush home before 8 o'clock so that I can spend at least 30 minutes with them before their bedtime. So please don't follow me. I actually love my children. And sometimes when I don't see them the whole day, I actually do miss them. I miss them. So yeah. Okay. Starting off with a Punch newspaper, Emmanuel, over the weekend, last week, Thursday, Wednesday, we started seeing this. The Phantom Agency. This agency that only God at this point knows the true what happened between who and who. Because if we really deep it, you're just going to get so confused as to, oh, we're not the ones that opened it. Oh, we're the ones that opened this. But now the Senate is expected to address the controversy around this 1.3 billion, of which this 1.3 billion naira is small compared to how much is disappearing from our nation. But let's just leave it at this. In this case, is that they have found out that there was a forged appointment letter bearing a falsified signature of the chief of staff Femi Gbajabiamila, and it was accepted at the civil service headquarters without adequate verification. Now, some people will say all this you're saying is forged. You people are just trying to save face, as opposed to like you guys actually
But
knew.
you know, the narrative has even changed from last week.
Oh, yes.
They didn't mention this forged signature last week.
They didn't. So now we're seeing how these things are happening, and they're saying you cannot really say that you were unaware.
Mhm.
And that has been my point in last week. You cannot say that you were unaware that an agency, the money, the budget was allocated to them, right? This money was given them, right?
Offices
Number one,
in the
the
Federal
office was in the federal secretary.
over 300 staff.
Over 300 staff, and now you're telling me that you did not know. So now you're coming to say, "Oh no, it's not the we're seeing where the problem is. This forged signature." If you don't get away from my side, and to be honest, I don't know when this is going to end. Imano, please don't be irritated by this headline, because I can already see your face. Just speak as they should. Please, Imano, he's just like, oh. But yeah, and these are the things that are happening, because they're saying that this Prince Adeyemi fellow scammed everybody. You're telling me that one individual in this Nigeria was able to pull the wool over everybody's eyes?
They're speaking like we're all on intelligence.
Yeah, please tell me the bridge. Where is the bridge? Tell me the Third Mainland Bridge, please. Yeah, over to you, Emmanuel.
You said only God knows the truth. No, men knows the truth, and that's the truth, because men were involved. It's not a matter of we know the fact. There are men who knows the truth. So you can't attribute the action of men to God, saying he knows the truth, when men themselves are the custodians of the truth of what established that agency and how that agency has been run. So we can't let here. The truth is, first and foremost, Adeyemi could not have done that alone. They are accomplices for him to have done that. Because it takes him to get to the office of the SGF. It takes his letter to move. It takes his letter to be get to what is it called, the central bank, for an account to be opened, which has to go through the Ministry of Finance. So they are accomplices in every step he has taken. There are people who are involved in every step he has taken. So when we say God knows the truth, no, man knows the truth. Man knows what they have done. They just pin it on God most times. And then they do thanksgiving after pinning every lies on God. But he's a merciful God. So the truth we should be asking ourselves is, how did Adeyemi get all this? Mind you, when I say he has accomplices, the way I believe it is the fact that the chief of staff to the president, governor, anybody does not issue an appointment letter for what is it called? For directors of agencies. What happened is the SGF, who is the secretary to the government itself, a letter comes from his office with the approval of the president. I think what happened is, I'm not sure of the process, is a memo is raised by the office of the SGF, I think down to the presidency, which the president approves, and then the SGF issues the letter on behalf of the president. So when I said that there are a lot of accomplices...
Hold on. Imane, what you're saying is that the president is also aware from what you just said.
No. His letter came from the chief of staff. I'm explaining to you that the chief of staff is not authorized to appoint. Appointment is made by the president through the SGF. So any letter that is authentic has to come from the office of the SGF. See, if you are appointed minister today, your letter is not coming from the chief of staff. Your letter is coming from the office of the SGF. So if you are made a minister today, your letter cannot be issued by the chief of staff to the president. It has to come from the office of the SGF. That's why documentation for ministers and all comes from the office. That's when even when Buhari made the mistake, then I was saying that they should go to the chief of staff when they appointed them. People were like, it's not chief of staff, it's boss Mustafa that they will go to. And all these chief of staffs that we have now, we never even had them this powerful until Abba Kyari came into being during Buhari's regime. But the truth now is, when I said they are accomplice all the way, the people in the ministry, the people in charge knows that letters of this magnitude for appointment as director of an agency is issued by the president. And most times, when go and look at the handles of speakers, that's the spokesperson or the handles of the president, when an appointment is made for a director general of a federal government parastatal, they always announced it that the president has approved the appointment. They will list all the DG to head. I've been trying to search when Adeyemi was listed. I've not seen it. Because I said there are a lot of accomplices in this and people know the truth. He is saying he did it in connivance with the chief of staff to the president. That's why I said people know the truth, not God. Because it was the action of the people that brought us to this scandal that is rocking us as a nation, whereby we have the CBN and accounts were open. You cannot go and open an account in the CBN for me. Do you know how many letters you need? I even tried to open one account then as a private individual. I think for 3 weeks now, the account is still flowing up and down. I will not mention the name of the bank. It's just flowing up and down. I don't even know account. They'll tell me they are doing search. I am a private citizen. I'm opening my own personal account. But it's opening an account for you. So you should know the kind of headache and the kind of stress for some of us that don't even like going into banks. The kind of letters, the kind of approval, going through the Ministry of Finance, going through this, that would have happened. So the truth is, everything was a scandal from the start. And the question we should be asking is, as if he says the chief of staff is involved, okay, chief of staff, how many people have you issued appointment letter to since you got into that office? Let's know. He's saying chief of staff. Okay, chief of staff, let's know, because an abnormality cannot become normal. Because people are not even raising that point that how did the chief of staff issue an appointment letter to a DG? The president appoints the DG. And all your appointments, the allocation of office space will be done from the office of the SGF. Now, he got an office space at Federal Secretariat. That's what I keep saying. See, in Abuja, every man is a big man because every man is one PA or EA to one PA or EA and to one executive assistant to another one. That's how they live their life in Abuja. Just buy kaftan and buy a car. That's it. But the truth now is, where this gets very interesting, is different letters that are flying around from even the Senate to the House of Rep, recognizing this parastatal. Him receiving visitor. Him also speaking to people, going on foreign trips on behalf of the state. Do you know how scandalous that is? You are going on for that means you have the power to negotiate and to speak on behalf of the state in that department and in that space that you find yourself, so you can speak to foreigners on behalf of the state called Nigeria. Many people don't know the extent to which this scam is, and you know, as usual, we have short memories in Nigeria and we keep quiet as long as it does not concern us. But the truth is, see, it is a scandal, and I'm asking myself, how many of them do we have in Abuja like this that has been appointed, one DG or another? Because maybe, you know, there was a time it was SA that was flying up and down. You can see SA on kitchen affairs. You can see SA on bedroom affairs. That's why one governor appointed SA on stomach infrastructure. I like that. So you can see, but now maybe this is the era of DG because SA now water. Maybe it's DG that we are appointing up and down. But now the irony of this is, how did they even get into the 2026 budget? That's the irony. And most Nigerians will wake up and find the House of Rep or the legislators, they will find them complicit in this, saying that how did they get into this? Then they will now ask the chief of staff a question. How did they get into the budget that the president assented to? Did your office not scrutinize and look at this budget very well before giving to the president? See, a president, a governor does not have the time to look at a budget. That's why they have the team. That's why all those ministers, they serve at his pleasure. So you have to scrutinize, you have to look at it. It tells you how you want his budget. It tells you, let's raise education. They have all the argument, oh, they cannot be raised. Let's raise security. Let's bring down this. Let's do this. Then they go and implement it. So that's why I said people know the truth. Because it takes people for that 1.3 billion to appear. Does it take God? It takes people. people knows the truth, because it doesn't take God for that 1.3 to appear. It takes people. So, and the 1.3 got there. And you know, the way we run our budgets in Nigeria, we have to go and defend. The budget you have to appear. So at what point and what point did Prince Adeyemi appear before the House of Rep to defend his budget? We should be asking some certain questions. At what point? Who are those who inserted that into the budget for him? Some school of thought will argue that, oh no, he has letterhead, because they are also big on letterhead when it comes to civil service in Nigeria. Oh, he has letterhead. Maybe he sent letterhead and he said that help us find something also so that we can run, help us. Because see, lobbying is a tool for the in government. You have to know how to lobby to get your things. Maybe he lobbied some people. Who are those he lobbied? Maybe he did this, maybe he did that. So when I said this runs deeply, people don't know, because it can never be a one-man show. Now they are telling us, oh, the witness died in an hotel fire. When? Where? What is the name of the hotel? I've just been hearing the witness died in hotel fire. The witness died. Since then, I've been trying to search online, hotel fire. Which hotel? Where? You see, these people know Nigerians are easy to bamboozle, because we are a country of book intelligent people, but we lack basic knowledge of comprehension of things happening around us. We flaunt our book intelligence because we've learnt A for apple very well and B for ball. And we understand Z is for zebra, but we don't even obey the zebra crossing. Book intelligent country, but lack basic knowledge of comprehensions of happening around us. That is why we are where we are. Because what we flaunt is not our intellectual development, our sense of reasoning on its own. If you remember, you did verbal reasoning and quantitative reasoning. Those were meant to shape how you reason, how you see issues, and how you analyze complex issues that happen in society. But we just did that. It never really affected majority of us in the country. That is why it is very easy to see a book smart person, but it lacks the basic intelligence of living life and comprehending issues. So this is the irony.
Give me a second, Emmanuel. The time is 1 minute to 8, and you're still tuned to Women Radio at 12.7 FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. And we've been speaking with our analyst, Emmanuel Olonade, on this whole Prince Adeyemi / the federal government / SGF / Chief of Staff, staff everybody, staff / Nigeria / everybody. That's what we've been talking about this morning. And Emmanuel has been, shedding insight on what he thinks. I said that only God knows the true case of this matter. Emmanuel said, no, it's not God that knows, that men know. Emmanuel, over the weekend, I watched snippets of a podcast where Inya Boyeji was talking about how the president is unaware of many things that are going on in the country, about how even when in his motorcade, the motorcade is moving so fast and he can't see what's even going on. And I say that to also buttress the point of when Bayo Ononuga had come out to say Nigeria, he cannot see the state of hunger in the country. And then people were like, oh, is it possible that the president doesn't know what's going on in the country? Now, on the other side, we had the Akara Gates. That's the only, when the first lady had come out to say, and then in his address at a meeting, he says, I want to greet my dear wife, the first lady, Iyala Akara. And I was like, is it that that's the one that came to him, or that's the one that he wants to talk about, or he wants to mock Nigerians? So I'm a bit conflicted as to, is it that he's actually unaware of these things and people are trying to pull a wool over his head? Because like you already said, it's impossible for them to have gotten an appointment without the know-how or of the SGF. Of the SGF.
So is it possible that he doesn't know the SGF has the bill?
Yeah. So I gave all that to say, is he unaware? Like, is the president, his hands innocent in this, and we should drag Femi, Chief of Staff? Yeah, but go ahead.
For me, The late President Muhammadu Buhari has a slogan.
We have a call. Sorry to interrupt you, Emmanuel. I know you want to respond. Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Francis.
How are my children, Francis?
Francis, good morning. Go ahead.
Morning. Emmanuel, yeah, good morning, Emmanuel. You are my son. You are good. You are good. Thank you very much for the analysis. And Fumi, can you still remember sometime last week I called and I said there is no way, although I am not educated, but I am enlightened and I am an old man. I told you last week that there's no way this type of company, or what do they call it, will exist in the heart of Nigeria, federal capital, Abuja, and the secretariat that your president will not know about it. I said it last week when you take my name to be Dixon before Prince came to correct the mistake. So now that Emmanuel is saying it, I am now glad that person who knows better than I do is analyzing everything, and it still come to my submission last week that there is no way somebody will tell me that the chief of staff will know about it, then the president will not know about it. Even Onanuga himself, all of them, they are all included or inclusive. Thank you. Nigeria will be great again, like Prince used to say. And I believe that Nigeria will still be great. Just a moment. God will do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Francis. Yes, I did make that error last week. So sorry about it once again. Yes, Emmanuel, please go ahead.
See, when there's a difference between the president and the presidency. I'm just trying to enlighten people. See, we say the president. There's a difference between the president and the presidency. The presidency is the total of those you see that works with the president. They are referred to as the presidency. So when you say office of the presidency, people that works with the president, you have the likes of ministers. They are part of the presidency. Ministers are part of the presidency. What is it called? All these chief of staff, SGF, they are the presidency. So until we understand how governance work, that's why I said most of us, we shout, we don't know how governance work. Now, one of late President Muhammadu Buhari's statement is, when you ask him, I was not aware. I was not aware. That's why some of us we've been clamoring for leaders who can move around on their own and do things, because governance is a complex situation and Nigeria is a complex republic that requires you to break down the complexity of the country to ensure you're able to govern well. Now, president, they get security reports every day. Now, they can decide not to give you this full security report. The media, as far as I know, is a bit controlled. The president does not have the time to read, though they have dailies, he doesn't have the time to read the old dailies. You get what I'm saying? They decide to control the headline the president sees in front of the dailies. So that is why if you see and you read part of, I think, Charles Omole book during Buhari's regime, a lot of things were a bit controlled around Buhari. Informations were held back, things were controlled. It happens. And when it comes with age, it's hard for most times for you as a leader to move about. Now, a space that information flows freely is the social platform, whether truth or lies. Most of our leaders are not active there to even peek. Where would the president, except in his own leisure time, ask time to look and ask, I thought you said you sorted this. Why am I seeing it? You can be a leader with a good heart and you live in ignorance because the people surrounding you are hoarding information from you. That is one of the complexity of being a leader in Nigeria, especially being the president. Informations will be with
100 1235 917. You can send your text messages or WhatsApp messages to 0703 1756537 or 08155 917 917.
Sugar Ajayi from Odonla in Ikorodu. This is a country full with leaders whose sole responsibilities are
This
to
has gone off
contest
our
for
internet.
selfish gain rather than the interest of her people. A country full with visionless leaders whose strategies is to steal from commoners. A country whose leaders have sold us to the highest bidder. From Adeshina Wasil in Ikorodu, good morning to you in the studio. If our leader wants progress for this country, it's the right time for Nigeria to do true federalism and let each region control their resources and also politicize themselves. In this unitary system, we encourage corruption. Banditry is as a result of illegal mining across the country. If Nigeria embraces true federalism, each region will take all these illegal mining sites and states will control all these resources. People will get more jobs legally and states will generate more money and the states will be stronger. And they will be able to take care of all the infrastructure development in their state and employ more citizens. And now ADC and Atiku have won in courts. Is this victory for democracy? But if ruling party won, democracy is in danger. This is double standard.
Yeah. Emmanuel, are you back? We seem to have lost our network.
I can hear you guys. I'm asking if you guys can hear me since I've been asking, but I got no response.
We lost our network for a bit, so sorry. You can go ahead.
All right, so I was saying I will take a clue from Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala's book, where she explained some certain things. See, when the first subsidy was to be removed and governors were putting demand on Jonathan, and Ngozi was outside the country, and they had planned a town hall to explain to Nigerians why subsidy must be removed. And the governors were putting pressure on Jonathan. He said when she heard that January 4th, Jonathan was going to announce first subsidy removal, she said she rang Jonathan. They didn't give her access. That's the Minister for Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, as I did. She said she rang Jonathan. They will tell her the president will call, the president will call. They will tell her the president rang Jonathan. He said immediately he announced the subsidy removal. He keeps sending people, but nobody, they didn't allow them have access to Jonathan. So if you can imagine, that is one of the closest person to Goodluck Jonathan when he was the president. That can be done to her. Information was controlled because Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala wanted him to hold off till they do the town hall meeting and sensitize Nigerians on why subsidy has to go at that particular moment. Another instance I will give you was when she said people were fighting her because she harmonized the ticket they took in ports, Nigerian Port Authority, in Lagos Port, Tinker Island and all, and had to cut down the agency in ports. And she had to infringe on the earnings of some certain individuals. He said they blocked her from Aso Rock Gate, where she joins Goodluck Jonathan in the chapel early in the morning. They didn't allow her, and security were telling her that they asked them not to allow her to enter. Do you think the president knows about that? During that saga, they made the World Bank president, who is accorded the honor of head of state for any country she visits. They revoke their access to the presidential gate and make them use the general gate, which requires them walking far into the Aso Villa. And they got late for a meeting, and Jonathan was asking why they get late to the meeting. Who did that? Powers within. So when I said Buhari's statement was, I'm not aware, and people laugh, I'm just laughing at people that even if you are there, if care is not taken, you will not even be aware. The late Muhammadu Buhari will be more aware than you are. It is a controlled, people can control willingly or unwillingly, but for the sake of their own stake and for the sake of their own security, job security, they can control information that gets to the president. You now ask that, oh, he mentioned Nakara. No, he has speech writers who would have written that speech and included that in it. That's why when some leaders speak, you are finding out that they are acting surprised that they are getting this information in public. It's not that they are acting surprised, they are surprised. And they are looking at all their aides like, so this has been going on. So if you are not careful, the presidency can have a lot of information that doesn't get to the president. That was why I said that the president does not go over the budget like Tinubu opening page 1, page 2 of the budget. No. All he requires is a summary of it, asking you, have you allocated 30% of the budget for health? You show him the evidence. Budget for health is 7.4 trillion. That's 30% of that budget. Have you done this? Have you done that? Now the presidency knows the details. That was why I said Prince Adeyemi could not have done it alone. God knows. It should not be as if I'm saying God does not know. Assuming I say God knows, but there are people who knows and who knows a lot. That is the irony. So it is a whole lot in governance. And when people see this loophole, they key into it. And if you meet people who are crooks or who have masterminded the act of keying into things like this, it is quite crazy.
Okay, we have a caller. Hello, good morning. At the same time, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Prince.
Good morning, Umi. Good morning, Nima. Good morning, Mr. Emmanuel. Nigeria and Hollywood or Nollywood or Chinawood, which one is better now, please, for me? Which one do we see that is better?
My brother, now me and you, they look
Mr.
together
Emmanuel.
now. I don't know which one.
Mr. Emmanuel, if Nigeria was to be a sane country where human beings are human beings, are not animated people or elements in human created nature, operating as human beings, at this stage, should Bajadi Amila be in that office till date? If it's a sane country, please, Mr. Emmanuel, where things really work for the good of the country, yet we are dreaming to become a nation. Should the DSS have not given a report on what has gone on, what should be done by now? The National Assembly, though they are all quoted elements, voted for people that are there as National Assembly, not majority, because we know those that were voted for and those that were not even voted for, that even find themselves to become Senate President and so on. Should they not have done the needful by now? If it is a country that is working, I asked a question last week. This is the second year running on the countries, whatever, there's no budget from the president to the presidency. As a country under your watch, there is no. Emmanuel, what happened to 8.8 trillion, whatever that is going on? Should the president still be on the same seat? Anyway, I don't want to blame Tinubu on this because he came in as somebody that was not voted for, number one. Number two, it is his turn to rule the country. So careless of whatever happened in the society, it is not his headache, it's not his business. He's there to compensate. So, but my pain now is in a whole country like this, why can't we still have people that are sane or people that want something to work for each of us still in those institutions, places like DSS, places like the judiciary, who will be calling out? Because I was taught in my elementary classes those days, we know what was called check and balances under what we call what is the subject they removed from secondary school again? History.
then go to government. Then we looked at what is going on, please. Okay, now when a young boy sing a song and we want to talk about Nigeria, you say don't put in that is why I want to blame the fourth realm of whatever your own, me, your HLM, your group. Journalism has become. Have you people also be bought over? If NOA is banning other people and banning people from saying the truth, yet they cannot call out. Do you know what? I think I will only listen throughout this week. I will not talk again. Let us see if Nigeria will collapse. If it collapses on all of us that are here. All these people that are there, their children are residents and citizens of US and other places. They are not Nigerians, so that is why they don't care. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Prince, for calling. I can tell you for free that Women Radio, we are very, very, objective, independent. Nobody has bought us, nobody's buying us. We are very independent and objective. I'm not sure why Ibadan is giving me that look, but I said what I said, and I'm standing on it. Okay, I understand I don't think I would call it. First, we have another call. Hello, good morning,
Mrs. Oboli.
Hi, Mrs. Oboli. Good morning.
Hi. Mima, good morning. Fumi, stick. Good morning.
You're sounding upbeat this morning, Mrs. Oboli. Good to hear your voice.
Man, for 2 weeks, Fumi, you know now it is well. Mr. Emmanuel, good morning. No.
Good morning, ma'am.
All right. Well done, sir. Fumi, thank you for carrying my matter on your head, though.
As always.
God bless you. First and foremost, Mr. Emmanuel, there are some questions or many questions that will be posed at you this morning that you cannot answer, not because you don't want to answer it, but simply because everybody is just tired. And I can understand the angle Prince is speaking from as a concerned Nigerian. Majority of the, just the same way Emmanuel cited this morning, majority of the people we look at or we look onto as the fourth exit of the realm, that is the media. For me, I know Women Radio like you are citing, but then when in 100% statistically, and you discover that the people you want to speak out, there are only 20 or 25 that are standing on the truth, that are objective, you tend to ask yourself, has the media also been bought? Look at what Emmanuel said this morning, regulation. The people who look up to the fourth exit of the realm, that is the media, and you guys are doing what you can do, but we're just saying maybe more should be, done in that regard. Now, in school, I read one book, they call it 1 Week, 1 Trouble, but in Nigeria, it seems what we have is 1 day, 1 trouble. Prince said it's China wood, Bollywood, and whatever wood, but my own is, I don't understand, because every day you hear different things. It's a matter, you know that things worse than this have gone unabated in this country and nobody was indicted. In our political sphere, there are sacred lambs, there are sacrificial lambs, and those dining and whining with the powers that be will never get to be sacrificed on the altar of any onslaught because they are sacred lambs. But the sacrificial lamb will be this guy we are asking in question. And I tell you, if the powers that be back him up in this quest, honestly, nothing will come out of this one. Worse than this, crimes have been perpetrated and nothing came out of it. So you might as well say it is either this guy in question will only be the fall guy on this case, in this case. And beyond this, no other person in the rank and file of the political elite will be indicted as a matter of fact. Watch, very soon, these two will blow over. So people say Nigerians, we have selective amnesia or we have a short memory span. No, we don't. As a matter of fact, what we see, the bad news, because it is so much, we are jumping on this. Before you know, we are trying to grasp it, and you see media is just running all over the place, trying to because majority of the news we have are just bad news. And so it is difficult for you to say you want to leave a case because more cases are turning out. So believe me, I want to hope against all hope that this particular story will see the light of day with somebody held accountable for this impunity, this colossal mess, this mess that has been rubbed on the entire federation. I didn't get the shame, no beyond. And the reason why things like this will continually thrive is because bad behavior is not punished accordingly. And when you see culpable persons and you don't make out punishment because they whine and dine in the comforts and corridors of power, what do you expect? Mr. Emmanuel, this will blow over. The reason why I say this finally is this. Those advocating upon this case, do you think they will indict themselves? If this guy has a strong backing of power, do you think they will indict themselves? The answer is no. No. This will still be swept under the carpet. We will shout, we will rouse, we will ask for accountability, we will ask for culpability. At the end of the day, this too will blow over because many messes like this have blown over in times past. I'm sorry you may not be able to answer a couple of questions because even you, as a concerned Nigerian, at this point in time, you have discovered that things are falling apart. The center cannot hold. Enough of all these shenanigans. Enough of all this propaganda. These are no longer conspiracy theories because we are tired and neck deep in trouble and there's no time we are coming out soon. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for all you do.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Oboli, for calling. Wow. Okay, Emmanuel, I want you to answer the last question that she asked you. Do you think that anything is going to come out of this? I think we had a caller last week, or was it our analyst that had said, Shebi, not long ago, we had money that was swallowed by snakes and all of that. So what do you think will come out of this? Are we wasting our breath? Is this one of the many, something has happened? We have another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Evangelist Dixon. How are you? Go ahead, please.
I just say, man, a word, and I can see how you are balancing things up. And let me correct one thing. Please, though, it's not our own idea, you. They can say, which are they? No matter own idea, you don't.
Oh yes, it's not our own Adeyemi. No, our analyst definitely not. No. Adeyemi, Prince Adeyemi of the FC, IPC, ICP agency. Yes, you're correct.
And people you surround yourself with really matter. And then I wanted to have the fish allowing to choose the people to people say the fish for it and people for it. And it's just
Evangelist Dixon, we're finding it difficult to hear you. Please do all to call us back. The network is not clear. 07000 917 917 0800 123 917. As we round off, Emmanuel, please.
A quick one. Let me start with Prince's submission that said, why is there no people that can lead with the truth that we put there? And I refer him back to the case of Jesus and Barnabas. They said, free Barnabas, crucify Jesus. The human nature, our nature, tends to go with what we perceive as a bit of evil than good. It's not that we've not had good people contesting for position, but they never made it true. Why? Free Barnabas, crucify Jesus still happens in our society today. So it is going to be hard for a truthful person to attain a position of power. And truth is, every human being that forms holiness and you've not tested him or her with power, the power reveals the true intent. Most of these people you see, they were not like this. But power corrupts. Absolute power makes you mad. That's why you see some leaders, some are corrupt, some are running mad. Because absolute power makes them mad. It takes a man who is well disciplined to control power. Because when you get into an office and you see the extent of your power, it is crazy. Especially in Nigeria, where checks and balances is not the major objective of what we do. And now, to the last question, Ms. Oboli asked, what's the question again? I want to try and remember it.
Is anything going to come out of this? Whose head is going to roll in this case?
Truth is, number one, this case has been on since last year. The public is just getting wind of it.
You are correct.
Prince Adeyemi has been arrested and is currently out on bail. He has appeared before the courts. It has been on since last year, where an agency, government agency, flagged and said they are interloping on what they are doing. And then a letter was written, and then the chief of staff wrote to the DSS to investigate the ministry and his appointment of the ministry. So this case has been
Emmanuel in absentia. Hi, Emmanuel. Sorry, Emmanuel. I feel like this matter is going to be in the it's going to be in the works. So we're going to be hearing about it until something else, basically, as with Nigerian news, comes and takes over its place. But our eyes are still peeled, looking for, the end of this, whose heads are going to roll, what's going to come out of this at the end of the day, because injustice here means injustice in other cases. That's what it would mean at the end of the day. Emmanuel, thank you so much for coming on the program today. Today was very insightful. Thank you for your candid opinion as always, your candid contributions as always. Okay, that is it from us over here at Women Radio. 9 o'clock is the news, 9:05 is her lines. Do not go anywhere. Major thanks to Michael, Benjamin, and Rachel for producing us today. All right, bye from us.